Hey guys, Michael from Copper vs. Glass. Now Asphalt 8 is my favourite racing game hands down. I love the arcade style racing and also the graphics look incredible. I've tried other racing games like Real Racing 3 and Need for Speed Most Wanted, but something about Asphalt 8 just keeps me coming back for more. So I was quite excited to learn that there's a new Asphalt game available in the App Store and also the Play Store called Asphalt Overdrive. But why is it not called Asphalt 9? Well, that's because it's not actually technically a racing game. If you've looked at any of GameLoft's most recent games like Spider-Man Unlimited and also Minion Rush, you'll know that they're fans of endless runners, and that's kind of what Asphalt Overdrive is. So, let's take a look. Okay guys, so when you first launch the game, you're going to be greeted with this front screen with quite a lot of options on it. Now the first one is going to be your inbox, and this is where you're going to find information regarding friend requests and also messages from people in your gang, which I'll show you in just a second. Now you've then got your profile, which shows you in terms of your score, your friends, the gang I mentioned earlier, which is basically a way that you can recruit other players to race with you to then give you a higher score. So it's got a really nice social feature to it. You can kind of recruit different people and then your gang ranking goes up. You've also got the wall, which is where you can also write comments and kind of chat between the gang in terms of, you know, what races you're going to be doing, what points you've got, etc. And then you've then got the leaderboards as well, which shows you who the top racers are within the category of which you are in. And in my case, I am actually first at the moment, so I'm open to any challenges. It's also got Google Play integration, which is definitely a nice feature as well. So in terms of achievements and things, you're going to be getting that. The settings themselves are quite limited. It's mainly about the game itself. There are a few graphical settings on here, but it optimizes it initially when you install the game anyway, so you may as well keep it as that. You've also then got at the top here the fuel, you've then got the social feed in the middle, which is the same as what you get on the main screen, and then you've also got the in-app purchases. Now like any free game these days, there are a huge number of in-app purchases, and again they get up to around £70 here in the UK, $69.99 to be exact, and that is what you pay for the gold in the game. If you want to get the actual money side of things, you have to use the gold that you've purchased or that you've got throughout the game to then actually use it for the money side of things. So you can see the way that this goes. Obviously, if you want to get, for instance, the highest amount of money, you need to spend around £13 or so in terms of getting some gold to kind of get maybe more premium cars or additional features, which I'll show you later. Clicking on the next arrow will take you into basically your garage and the hub for where you're going to be using and purchasing the actual cars themselves. So you can see here an example of the Camaro that I'm driving at the moment. The graphics are actually really nice. They've got a very arcadey feel to them, which is kind of a staple of Asphalt games. In terms of the actual dealership, you can see here you've got different tiers of racing as well, from 1 to 5. And again, you've got the more premium and also more expensive cars up there in tier 5, and they're lesser in price and also in power as you go down the tiers, all the way down to tier 1, which is where you've got the more simpler starter cars. But there is definitely a nice selection of cars, and the car models actually do look really nice. Obviously coming from something like Asphalt 8, the graphics aren't necessarily looking dated, but some other car models and some other games, especially this one as well, the graphics just look a bit more premium. It also has the DeLorean from Back to the Future, which I definitely appreciate. So you then got the upgrade feature, which is basically where you're going to be buying the upgrades for your vehicle in terms of speed, acceleration and the nitro. And you can see here that they cost money, which is obviously what you're going to be getting as currency throughout the game itself, or you can actually get it through the in-app purchase, which I mentioned earlier. So you can see here that you can rank up your car as well to get to a very high ranking, which is the more powerful cars. You've then got the customization screen. There is a coming soon section for the decals, and then you've also got the color of the car as well. And if you do want to color your car, again, you are going to have to use that gold. And also you can change your license plate. Because the main focus of the game is going to be fixed behind your car, you can put in any license plate. So if I just put in CVSG for Copper vs. Glass, you can see that again you are going to have to use your gold to do something as simple as change the license plate. So that is definitely a bit of a disappointment. It would have been nice just to customize it free of charge so that you can show off to your friends, or even have the same license plate to kind of go along with that gang feature that I mentioned earlier. Clicking next again will take you through to the game world. Now the world itself is divided into 5 different turfs, which is different parts of the city. Now you can't access a part of the city without defeating the previous boss. So you can see here that I haven't yet defeated the boss for Turf 2, and you can see that you also need a certain amount of stars to be able to actually race her in the first place. Now these stars are what you get throughout the game itself for high scores and speed, etc. And they range from 1, 2 or 3 stars, so obviously the better you do, the more amount of stars that you're going to get. In terms of the different race types, the first one here is Restricted Run. Now this one is a specific kind of race and you have to use a certain car. Now it's a car that you can either unlock when you're playing the game or you can purchase it early using in-app purchases. Now you can also see that it defaults you to what it thinks is the best car for the specific race you want to do. Now Stunt Run is doing different stunts off of jumps, whether it's barrel rolls or just getting as far as you can. And you can see here again that you've got different varieties of the actual race itself throughout different parts of the city. Next up you have Destruction, which is where you have to take out a certain amount of cars. So you can see the easy, medium and hard settings. There is quite a learning structure to go by. Getaway is basically the main structure of the actual game itself, and as you can see there's a lot more missions here as opposed to any other of the game types. Now you can see obviously your car power, which is the power of your car that you've chosen in relation to the police that are going to be chasing you. The whole point of this game is to actually outrun the police, so obviously you need to get a really powerful car and make sure that your power bar is above what the police have. The next game mode that we're going to be having is a timed event. So it's basically a daily event. You can see that I have to wait 14 hours. It's once a day that you get to access these types of races, and they give you early access to cars. You don't have to purchase them. It lets you drive them completely free of charge. And there's also a mode here that is locked at the moment, which is coming soon. And from the look of the stopwatch, it's probably a time trial event. Now you can see here that once you've defeated the boss, unfortunately you can't race them again, which is definitely a shame because you get quite a lot of money for defeating the bosses of each turf area. So what I'm going to be doing now is just showing you a quick race in the Getaway style of Turf 2. You can see here that it's selected my Camaro as the best car for the mission, and what I'm going to do is just go to one of the easy missions just to show you exactly how the game actually runs and how it looks. Now once you actually select which race you want to do, you've then got a screen here which gives you options for things like Nitro, Combo Extender and other things that you can get throughout the game. Now you can see here that a lot of these things you get free of charge. So the full Nitro I actually won because I was top of one of the leaderboards. Combo Extender, I've got 2 of those, and again I've unlocked those throughout the actual game itself. If you can't unlock them or you haven't got any, again you can use the gold, which is basically the currency of the game, to purchase them. Now you can see here that if you want to play, it's going to take out one of your fuel bars, and again you can wait to get more fuel or pay to obviously keep playing. Now I'm not necessarily a fan of this style of game, obviously to pay to play as it were. The game itself, either put a premium price on it or do it free of charge. I'm not necessarily a fan of the fact that you have to pay to keep playing a game. Obviously if they want you to play the game, then I'm not sure why they're making you pay or charging you to actually play. So that's kind of a little bit of a disappointment in my opinion. I do really like the graphical style of this game, and you can see here that from this first race there is quite a lot of neon, and just in general the colours are really bright and a nice change from something like, for instance, Need for Speed Most Wanted, and in this sense you can see here how the actual game works. So it's not a racing game in the sense that you don't actually have to turn the device like most using the accelerometer. It's an endless runner, so your car automatically goes forwards and you basically have to dodge traffic or get the traffic out of the way by knocking into it and having what's called a takedown, which then gives you additional points and additional scores. So you can see here that the actual tracks themselves are very simple. It's mainly a straight line and you mainly have to dodge things like I've mentioned. There are some jumps that you can also access, and there are also events in terms of some things that happen on the track. So you may be following a truck that has a load of logs on the back and the logs will fall off, you have to dodge them, and also then the lorry itself will crash and again you have to dodge it. So you can see here that once you are successful, you then get through to the end screen, which gives you your score, gives you the mission, speed, and also a gang bonus if you are part of a gang, and then you also get the league points, which is what puts you at the top of any leaderboards. It then also tells you how much money you've got throughout the actual level itself and gives you access to a leaderboard where you can compare yours and your friend's score if they've actually got to that level. Now from the looks of it, the friends that I have in my list haven't yet got there, so it's automatically put me at the top. Next up, I'm just going to show you a quick stunt run. Now obviously with this one, it's all about getting the highest score possible from doing jumps, whether it's going forward off jumps, going through billboards, or doing some barrel rolls. So again, the actual way that the game works is exactly the same with dodging left and right, but with this one you can actually swipe when you're on a jump to do a barrel roll, and also the double tap here gives you the nitro. Now once you crash, as you just saw there, it doesn't end the game, it just resets you but takes away some of the score that you've got, but it resets you a bit further back, meaning that you can actually get past past that section. So you can see here that again, I do need to hurry up with this one. And you can see there that a lorry did fall over, which I then had to jump over. So again, with those destructible environments as well, and also these events that happen throughout the actual races themselves. Now, unfortunately with this one, I was out of time. So you can see here that it's still going to give me some league points and also some prize money, but I'm not going to get any stars whatsoever because I done 7 jumps and the requirement was 8. Back in the garage, you've also got events, which are daily, weekly, or they can sometimes take a bit longer. And what it is basically is an event that you can enter to get some extra points, extra scores, and also some extra bonuses. So I'll just have a look at this top one here. Again, this is the Rookie League, and I am rank 1 at the moment. And obviously you can see here my score to the left and the time left on the right-hand side, which is about 7 days or just over. Now obviously you've also then got some gang events as well, because obviously the whole point of this game is very social, so obviously you can get a gang together. Once you guys kind of do races separately, it puts your score together to give you a gang rank, and also you've then got the gang score as well. And again, this one is going for just over 7 days as well. You can see here that the league points and also the racing points are done on 2 separate graphs. Down the bottom, you've then also got a solo event, which is again a league point run. And with this one, to participate, you actually need to pay about £1,000 in terms of the in-game money. So once you do click on that, you're then entered into that event, and then you can keep it going. And this one here only goes for around 14 hours. So with this one, you need to keep racing and do as much as you can to get as many league points to then get to the top of one of the leaderboards and to also then get some prizes. So as my overall opinion, I would definitely recommend this game. The graphics and also the gameplay are extremely good, but it's not necessarily the Asphalt 9 that everyone has been waiting for. Unfortunately, we are going to have to wait a little bit longer. But if you are looking for an endless style runner, but with a car twist, this is definitely the best option for you. I'm Michael from Copper vs Glass with a quick look at Asphalt Overdrive, and I will catch you guys in the next video.